Hi, this is Graham Bell with Real Intent. I'm speaking with Lisa Piper, Senior Technical Marketing Manager. Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Graham.
We have a new release of our Ascent IIV product. IIV stands for Implied Intent Verification. You're responsible for that product. What can you tell us about it? First off,
IIV has always been my favorite product because I can really appreciate the value behind the product. Most people understand what formal verification is and the fact that you can use formal verification even before you have test benches ready to get rid of a lot of your basic bugs before you even go to simulation. I've done a lot of formal verification in my past, and I found that I end up spending a lot of time debugging my assertions rather than debugging the design. The other thing I used to spend a lot of time doing was iteratively running the verification, because I would fix one bug and then I'd rerun the tool, which could be time consuming, but I would rerun it to see what other bugs also disappeared. Otherwise, I ended up just debugging the same root cause over and over and over. IIV was designed to get the power of formal verification without the user having to write assertions. The tool automatically generates the assertions for you. A lot of companies refer to this as AutoFormal. IIV will automatically generate the assertions for you, but in addition, it also tries to automate a lot of the debug by telling you the root cause of the failure. So it distinguishes the bugs as being a primary fail versus a secondary fail, so you can just focus on debugging the primary fails. So with IIV, you've eliminated the need to write assertions. You've eliminated the need to do the iterative runs to determine what other bugs were caused by that bug. And you've automated a lot of debug, so I don't have to spend as much time doing debug.
cool. That sounds like a very powerful set of features. So could you explain it to us a little bit more about the primary and secondary failure mechanism that's unique to Ascent IIV?
So what IIV does is it determines the dependencies of failures, and it reports the primary failure as a primary. The secondary failures, it reports as a secondary and shows you what primary condition causes that secondary. Now in the previous releases, we would report what primary failure caused it with the secondary. In our current latest release, we have something that's pretty neat. We have what's called a causation tree. So you can look at any primary failure and you can see what additional bugs are caused by that failure. So I can see, oh, bug 1 was primary failure caused this other bug 2 to occur, which then caused another bug 3 to occur. It also caused a bug 4 to occur. So it's kind of neat because you can get a view of all the additional bugs that one bug has caused.
In this new release of Ascent IIV, what are some of the changes?
Well, I mentioned the causation tree. That's one of the big ones. But the thing that drove the new release was the desire to be able to print specialized reports. This allows designers that want to focus on a particular area to print a special report. So for example, the first thing a lot of customers want to look at is their FSMs. Are the FSMs working correctly? They can print an FSM report that will just show the FSM issues as well as anything that's needed to debug those FSM issues. So it allows them to just focus on one particular area. Another example of a report is your coverage report. Somebody doing coverage analysis, they may want to look at the report to determine where the dead code is so that they know where they're not going to get code coverage from the simulator.
Are there any new checks in this release?
In our previous release, which wasn't that long ago, we introduced new Fsm Transition Checks. The FSM transition checks were results on things like FSM reachability. So maybe it can reach a state through one transition but not a second transition. FSM transition checks give you more information. In this release, the focus was on system Verilog checks. We now support most of the synthesizable constructs in the System Verilog 2009 standard. So as part of that, we've introduced checks for things like priority and unique 0 for if and case constructs. And we've also introduced checks for System Verilog enumerations.
What do you want our viewers to remember about this new release of Ascent IIV?
IIV is the #1 AutoFormal tool because it is the only tool out there that can do the root cause analysis. And that root cause analysis is so beneficial to the designer in terms of minimizing the overall debug time.
Lisa, thanks for speaking with us today.
Thank you, Graham.